Hi, this is Stacy Kelzer, and I'm a 5th grade teacher at Cambridge Intermediate School. I'd like to share with you today my proposal for alternative seating in my classroom. In this photo, you can see that there are students standing in the back, there are students opting to sit on hokey stools, there are students who are choosing stability balls, and most likely in this classroom there are a few students who are choosing to use the traditional classroom chair. The goal of this proposal is to enhance the learning environment of my classroom by providing students with the opportunity to use active sitting during the school day. Active sitting improves attention and concentration, posture, blood flow, flexibility, coordination, and balance. This will lead to increased learning. Let's consider Objective 1, to enhance and improve the learning environment of my classroom. Students will demonstrate the ability to stay focused and energized throughout the day when given the opportunity to move and stretch on their stability ball or stool in a controlled and structured manner. Objective 2. Provide ergonomically correct seating that promotes better posture, strength, coordination, and comfort. Students will sit up straighter, strengthen core and back muscles, and improve balance and coordination by using the stability ball and/or stool. Objective 3. Promote wellness in all areas of my students' days. Students will naturally be able to take movement breaks throughout the day. Students will learn and understand why their personal health and well-being is essential to learning and growing. How is this project innovative? This project rethinks traditional classroom seating by providing students with the choice of using stability balls and/or hokey stools instead of chairs. Active sitting takes what we know about the brain and learning and makes it actually happen in the classroom. Innovation. Over the last several years, we have seen an increase in the number of students who struggle with focus and attention issues in our classrooms. We spend a great deal of time working together with families to come up with strategies and interventions to help these students be successful in the classroom. Allowing students to choose a ball or stool to help them maintain their focus is not an intervention that we've tried in this district, and it's time we give students this choice. How does this project impact student learning in the 21st century classroom? Here's what we know about the 21st century classroom. It's a productive environment in which students can develop the skills they need to be effective in the workplace down the road. Teachers are the facilitators of their learning. The educational practices of the traditional classroom are no longer effective, and teachers must develop new teaching strategies that are radically different from those employed in the traditional classrooms. The modern day classroom should be more student-centered. The environment should put students' interests first, be focused on each student's needs, abilities, and learning styles. So let's think for a moment of all of the efforts we're putting into differentiating our classrooms. And many of the projects that you folks are going to see are going to involve technology, which certainly I'm a fan of. I use in my classroom. I'm part of the blended learning for the math initiative in 5th grade. I'm seeing great benefits to students being able to have devices. I'm able to differentiate more for them. However, I am still seeing so many students struggle with that focus component. And so I think that we need to consider not only how technology itself helps students become 21st century learners, but we need to consider our environment that we're providing for these students. The 21st century classroom, it would use active sitting. By providing various active sitting options, we are acknowledging that we know our students have different and ever-changing needs. We are encouraging our students to take responsibility for their learning by choosing the seating that they need to make them comfortable and most focused. This promotes responsible decision making and allows students to work toward meeting both their academic and behavioral goals. The research that we hear about, that we read about, talks about students setting goals and about students being part of a plan and students monitoring their progress towards meeting these goals. And so I think we need to look across the entire classroom environment and make sure that we are providing students with the tools that they need in order to meet those academic and behavioral goals. And I believe that providing the choice of stability balls and stools and standing stations, it will aid students. What support will be needed to implement this particular project? I would need some time or assistance to pump up the stability balls and just get organized for the implementation. Otherwise, WITFIT, which is a company who specializes in providing alternative seating options to school classrooms, they are able to provide resources and support that would be needed for a successful implementation. The big question, how will you know if you've met your goal or objective? Well, a lot of this would have to fall back on the students, and students would then complete a survey or evaluation beforehand, and they would be asked about their ability to focus and to attend in class, and then they would fill out that same survey or evaluation again after having access to the active sitting options for the school year. WITFIT is able to provide the necessary pre and post tests to do that with students. Certainly we could do some teacher observations and note taking on students known to have focus and attention struggles. We could have them come in and do the same kind of rating scales that they use during evaluations with special ed students, for example, their amount of time on task and off task, and we could do that before they are using a ball or a stool, and again after. Another option would be a pre and post testing of students in the areas of attention, posture, classroom environment, and I could maybe see if Mr. Karowski or one of our PE teachers or another trained adult could come in to take a look at some of those things as far as posture and see if they notice any changes. WITFIT was gracious enough to send one stability ball and one hokey stool to my classroom so that my fifth graders could test them out. I was interested in getting feedback from them before I would decide whether or not to pursue this proposal for the grant dollars. And so the fifth graders, along with Mrs. Kelzer, we created a short video that I think highlights and shares some of their thoughts, and you're able to access that video at this particular link. And I think that it's pretty interesting to hear what the fifth graders have to say. Thank you for your time, and please feel free to contact me if you have any questions. Thank you.